Hey, so welcome to this edition of the Behind the Scenes More Members Now podcast recording. So I am about to record another multiplier podcast, which is going to be about the strategy multiplier. Now, in the previous episodes, we've done the content, assimilation, marketing, retention, ascension, and now we're going to hit on the strategy multiplier. So you know how this works if you've been watching the other behind the scenes recordings. I'm going to pause and then I'll do a little bit of an intro and then I'll go into the heart of the podcast and then I'll close it out and then come back here. So thanks for joining in. Thanks for logging in and watching this behind the scenes episode here. So, all right, let's do this. Welcome to the More Members Now podcast. In this edition, we're going to talk about the strategy multiplier. Yes, that's right, the strategy multiplier. We're going to talk about how to strategize your membership and why strategizing your membership is different than when you strategize for a customer-based business. So get ready to take some great notes. Thanks for listening in, and let's get started. So on this edition of the More Members Now podcast, we've been doing a series of the 7 membership multipliers. And in the previous episodes, we've covered the content, assimilation, marketing, retention, ascension, and now we're talking about the strategy. We're in the final stretch of this series on the More Members Now podcast. So the strategy multiplier really is all about strategizing your membership in such a way that is different than the strategies that are being used and being taught by customer-based businesses. One of the things I see constantly is membership businesses using the strategies that they've learned from other customer-based businesses, and then they implement it, but they forget we work with members, we work with recurring revenue, and many of those strategies that we have learned and developed out there don't apply or apply differently to us because we run a membership business. So how do you differentiate between those strategies that are out there with a customer-based business and those strategies that work inside your membership business? Well, I'm going to give you 4 key questions today that will help you determine and improve upon your strategies. So if you got a pad of paper and a pen, get ready to take some great notes on this. The first strategy or the first question that I like to use is, what went right? Now, when I implement a strategy, I always evaluate it and then come to these 4 questions. And the very first thing I want to ask is, what went right with the strategy? And those are the things that we celebrate. I'll bring my team together and we'll look at the strategy that we did for our marketing campaign. And we'll ask, what went right? We'll do a strategy for an event. And then I'll bring our team together. And again, we will ask and answer the question, what went right? So we do this with everything, every activity inside our membership business. And we celebrate. You know, so many times as entrepreneurs, you don't take time to celebrate. It's on to the next project. It's on to the next endeavor. It's on to the next hill, and you keep charging forward, but you have to take time to celebrate. You got to put a stake in the ground and say, man, these are the things that really, really went well. Because what happens is if we don't remind ourselves of the things that went great or went well or went right, then we'll forget about it. And then we maybe won't put it into the next strategy that we're building out. So we always start with what went right and we celebrate those things. Then we ask this second question, what went wrong? What went wrong? So, you know, invariably with every strategy that comes to play, every event, every endeavor, every campaign, something is bound to go wrong. It could be something small, it could be something big, but we want to capture those things that went wrong so that we can improve upon them next time. And sometimes what went wrong may lead us to actually just cut the strategy altogether. Like it did not perform the way we wanted to. Like, you know, the marketing campaign did not perform the way we wanted to. That lead magnet that we have out there that we're marketing is not performing the way we want it to. So we'll cut that. And we do that when we ask this question of what went wrong. Then these last 2 questions are rather insightful. The third question we'll ask is, what was missing? What was missing? Now, when you ask this question, all of a sudden, it opens up the opportunity for creativity to come into play. Because you start thinking of ideas. You start thinking of, well, we didn't use this, and that was missing. we didn't do that, and that was missing. Or, we were missing a key person to help pull off this endeavor as well. And so when you ask this question of what was missing, it now opens the creative juices, the creative flow within all of your team members and within your own mind to be able to think outside of the box, to be able to think outside of this strategy that you're implementing or that you're using, and being able to then move forward and make it ultimately better. So again, if you're taking notes on these questions, the first one is what went right? That's what you celebrate. What went wrong? That's what you improve upon. What was missing? That's where you get creative. And then lastly, what was confusing? The last question, what was confusing? That's where you can ultimately say, where do we need to bring about clarity? It just so happens we were marketing an event recently, and somebody actually told us, said, well, hey, listen, I didn't think this event was for me because I've got a brand new membership, or I'm just starting my membership, and I didn't think this event was for me. Now, there was some confusion there. Like, this person did not know that this event was for them because they were starting a membership, when actually the event was exactly what this person needed. So we had to help clarify the confusion. So in our marketing language and in our sales page and in our emails, we were able to go back and say, we've got to get super clear on what this message is. That, not only is this event for the person who desires to start a membership, but it's also for that person who's got a membership and they're going and running, and they've got been doing it for years. They've got hundreds of members or whichever. So you ask that question, what was confusing? And now you start thinking about the people who were impacted by this strategy. What was in their mind? What questions did they ask? How could you clarify so that you can reach and serve more people the next time you implement? So again, just to recap, as part of the Strategy Multiplier, I wanted to give you some very practical next steps that you can take, and it's by asking those 4 questions. What went right? What went wrong? What was missing? And what was confusing? When you do this, you start to strategize your business different. Now, in the Strategy Multiplier, just to say it, there are a number of different strategies that you can use, but I just wanted to bring this one out to you. It really is a multiplier for your membership that you're able to begin looking at. Hey, what we're doing over here may not work over here. I'll give you this one last example. So one of the stories I like to tell is that you hear a membership business say, hey, we just picked up 10 new members off of Facebook, and well, we picked up 5 members off of LinkedIn. And so a lot of times using strategy, they'll say, well, we're getting twice as many members off of Facebook, so we should throw twice as much budget to Facebook, or maybe even shut down the marketing on LinkedIn and let's throw everything in Facebook. It's a bad strategic decision in and of itself based upon that information. What I like to do is I like to look at 3 to 4 months later, and how many of those members did you pick up off of Facebook? Well, you come back and you say, well, we have 4 members left that we picked up off of Facebook. So we lost 6 members out of 10. That's not good. And if I was to say, okay, well, how many members of that 5 that you picked up off of LinkedIn, 3 to 4 months later, how many are still with you? 4. You say 4 members. Well, it tells me you're getting a higher quality member off of LinkedIn than Facebook. Most membership businesses would never have found that. They would have said, let's put more money into Facebook. And guess what they're going to do? They're going to churn and burn. Why? Because they made that strategic decision based off of customer strategies. We got 10 customers off of Facebook, 5 customers off of LinkedIn. That was a customer-based strategy. But when you throw in retention, like we have with membership businesses, then you start looking at it differently and you ultimately make the right decision. I would say, you know what? Hey, continue to do marketing in both avenues, but definitely increase the budget over to LinkedIn because you're getting that better quality member. So again, you find that and you discover that by asking those 4 questions. What went right? What went wrong? What was missing? And what was confusing? And it will lead you to discover little hidden gems, little hidden multipliers within your membership business so that you can continue to reach and serve more people. Hey, listen, if you have been enjoying this series of the More Members Now podcast, be sure to subscribe, leave us a review, share it with others that you may know that are trying to serve more people within their membership. We'd love to be able to do that. And be sure to check out membershipmultipliers.com. We've got a number of opportunities there to come alongside you and help you multiply and accelerate the growth of your membership. All right, so there was the episode. John is going to take this recording. He's going to do all sorts of stuff with it, make it better, and he's going to put it out there on our podcast. And who knows, maybe one day we will actually do a series on how to launch your own podcast. That would be something for us to do inside our membership at the Accelerators Club or even at the Membership Multipliers level. Listen, I want to thank you for being a loyal listener, or I guess viewer, of this behind the scenes episode. Be looking forward to next week's episode. It's going to be all about the leadership multiplier. We'll finally hit the 7th multiplier, the leadership multiplier. So be on the lookout for that. Hope you have a great day, and we'll see you on the next live inside here.